Okay, this video is to demonstrate the Titan 1M milled part. There's a 3-page PDF here that we need to go through in order to complete the part. And what we'll do is we'll start with an inch part. Make sure you're in ANSI units. If you're not, you can always go up to the gear wheel here in options, document properties, and make sure everything is set to ANSI. So I'm going to open up a part, verify the units are in inches. Down here in the bottom, we've got inches. And looking at this part, isometric view, it looks like they chose a view that was started on the front plane. And before I do that, I'm going to set the material so I don't forget. So I see here in the title block, they have here 6061 aluminum. So we'll go to our aluminum alloys, right clicking on material, going into edit materials. Now we'll scroll down here to 6061 T6. And the SS is just a bonus for us. So we'll say apply, close, and we can get started. We'll start on that front plane. And not caring where the origin is, other than it probably would be at a corner or in the center. It might be helpful to put it in the center. So I'll choose a center rectangle up here, right there. And we'll just sketch a rectangle starting on the center, right on the origin. That way we're set up for that. Put our 4 by 1.9. I'm going to ignore that fillet until last, the R0.0, because it's usually best to do fillets last on most models. So not only last, but we usually do them largest to smallest. Scrolling down, we can see basically we're talking about just all the tapped holes here. And we know they're tapped because this little note right here, it's a number 10, 32 threads per inch tapped hole. There are 7 of them. This just means that they're fine thread, and this means that they're internal threads. But it does say the depth here is 380 deep. So we're going to go ahead and pick this face first, go to Hole Wizard. If you ever don't choose the face first, make sure when you're in Hole Wizard, you do not pick the button that says 3D Sketch. This is our tap button in Hole Wizard once we're here. And we're going to go to a tapped hole. Bottoming is fine, but we're going to go down to 1032. Find that in our inch style. This is not through all. This is blind to a depth of, and this is for our thread depth, 0.38. And that should update. If we link in condition 38 for thread, yes, thread 38. Okay, so we can hit positions tab. I'm going to go ahead and try to make ourselves normal to this. I usually use the space bar to do this, but then I'm just going to plink each of these out here roughly in their locations that they go. We'll fix them up in just a minute here. So we want some horizontal and vertical relations between these so that when I pick like these two, holding control and selecting them both, going to horizontal, they are going to stay horizontal with one another. Then I want to make like these two vertical and just kind of go around the bend here, do another horizontal and do one more vertical. This will help us require less dimensions. So now I can put in some of the dimensions in just a minute, but I've got these two horizontal and this one needs to be vertical to that. Okay. All right. So one thing we can do now is go into our dimensioning, and as you notice, they did ordinate dimensioning. So I'll do the same thing. I'm going to do the verticals first. First thing I'm going to do is pull a 0 here and pick, and I've got all those set down, and I'm going to hit the check mark, and you'll notice that I missed one here. I did that intentionally, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. Just want to show you how to add one into our dimension set when we're done. Let me just double click each of these and set them to the correct values. 1.75. So we missed this guy here in our vertical dimensioning scheme. So in order to add him in, we don't go back to vertical. What we do is we right click on one of the others in the scheme and we say add to ordinate, because this is ordinate style dimensioning. And all we have to do then is pick it and we're done. And we'll double click that one then and set him to the correct value. It's 1.75. Okay, next thing, whoops, he's not. He's 1.216. Let's Control Z to go back. Undo is Control Z. 1.216. All right, let's do all those horizontal style. So we're going to go up to Ordinate. And again, we're going to set our 0. We're just going to come around and click on each of the required. Oh, that one's not needed. So I'm going to say cancel to it because it's already aligned to the origin. I had already put that in. Okay, so now I'm just going to double click each of these and set their sizes. And I'm just 1.15 and I hit the enter key. And I'm over here 2.85, enter key, 3.85, enter key. And that's all done. So those are ready. There's our holes that are set up in this step. And we'll hit the check mark and we can move on to the pocket creation down here where we're going to do the internal pocket, this area here. And we're going to do the outside pocket, this area here. I'm going to do them in separate steps. So I'll pick this face again, start a sketch, get normal to that, and start to work on this pocket. So the easiest thing I see about this shape is that, you know, if you kind of look at it, there's a rectangle that's happening here with some changes to it, but basically it's offset of our outer perimeter. So if you just look at these two numbers, these are our offset numbers, 0.30. Easiest way to do that is pick that face while you're in the sketch and say offset and reverse it to the inside and then set the dimension to 0.3. Nice thing about this now is that we've got some of our construction already begun. We've basically got that and we've just kind of got to add these bump outs. So I'll put a bump out here that looks sort of like this, and I'm going to do a tangent arc around the edge and back down. There's one of the bump outs, and I'm going to trim that with my power trim. And I'm going to do the other bump out. So the way I'm going to do that is just strike a circle from here to here, here to here. Pick these two, make them equal. I'm going to set a dimension for those then. Those are, well, those are radius. So let's trim first. That'll make it a little bit easier. Trim, 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 trim. And we're going to go into our radius command. These are 0.313 I'm seeing over here. See where we got that from. Here. Okay, and then I see the 188 is also over there, so we'll set that on here. Gets us closer. Notice our center fell off the map a little bit, so we're going to take him and align him vertically. And then we're going to put in a dimension to hopefully control the location on that. I think that it's should be simple, but I'll just make these two lines equal. That'll help. And then we're going to make this angle by choosing that line and then this line, 45. So since they're equal, they're both 45. And then this particular center point is controlled by just being on the center of that circle. And then everything's black. And that's perfect. That's what I wanted to get to. And we can cut this. And this cut is exactly a ½ inch deep as shown over there. There we go. Now I'm going to do the outside pocket, picking this face here, starting a new sketch. This is basically a line, a curve, a tangent arc, another line, back down here, and across. Got a tangent on each of these intersections, so that's good. The size of this arc is going to be important, and that these two lines are equal is going to be important. They're equal, and they also need to be tangent to their partners out this way. So I'm going to set parallel, sorry. Set those to parallel. Make this one parallel. And then we'll set that size. This is 195, looking at the print over there. That dimension, and then we dimension the center from here all the way up to here, 1.65. Okay, Why are we still blue? So we'll ask the question. So we grab onto something and drag it, and that answers it. We do not have a vertical relation set yet to anything that controls it. We can now cut. And this goes down to the same depth, a 1/2 inch. So let's say check. Basically, we have fillets left here at this point, a whole bunch of them. And these fillets are part of this set right here, this 13 by 195. That means all of these inside here are going to be that size. So I'm going to go put that number in there, the 195, go fillet command, pick this one, see what it says if I go around. Oh, good. It wants to grab all those. That's nice. So the little pop-up menu allowed me to pick all these quickly. I didn't have to do that myself. I see there's 2 extras I want to add here. There's this one. This one. It should be 12 total to go with the other one I earlier had. And I'll say full preview. Check. And the other 2 that we needed to add from the beginning, maybe we could do that now, the 0, 10. So we'll do the fillet. We'll put in that number. We'll go right here. I'm also going to check to see if they want to provide the others. Yep. And if you look close, it's not really described in the dimensions, but they hit these edges here. So they hit this one and let it chase all the way around. And they hit this one and let it chase all the way around. Each of these top edges here. And there's even one, you know, if you look back at the first model, I think you can see there's one down on this edge, which is odd, but it's there. So I'll just put it on. Check. And that should be it. There's our part. I think that we've got her completed. Hope that helps.